Welcome on in, everybody. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Your Florida Panthers 2 wins away from hoisting Lord Stanley. They win Game 2 today in a very testy game, back and forth. A lot of penalties, a lot of discipline had to be shown, but they win this one 4-1 over the Edmonton Oilers. Evan Rodriguez, 2 huge goals for the Cats as he has been lighting it up so far in this series. But, you know, it's tough not to come out of this game a little pissed off, a lot of bit worried because of Aleksander Barkov, you know, the Cats captain, the Cats leader. What happened to him in the third period with Leon Draisaitl, who it could only be described as through a flying John Bones Jones elbow off a leap, left his skates. And like, dude, hey, I'm no hockey aficionado, but I'm pretty sure that ain't in the rule book. And the idea that they went to review on it and they went and called it a minor is highway bull bleep. And I gotta tell you, I've been watching a lot of the coverage. I've been watching a lot of the coverage on, you know, Sportsnet. And, I mean, you know, who do you think they're going to be in the bag for, right? But I've also kind of felt that way watching the ESPN broadcast. Like, I've been very annoyed with PK Subban. But I'll give PK credit because he said this on SportsCenter afterwards, which I think was the sentiment of a lot of Panthers fans, which was, if that's Connor McDavid or that is Draisaitl, and that happens in reverse, and you have Sam Bennett doing the exact same thing, just like it was with Marchand, when Marchand got hit and they wanted Sam Bennett taken away in handcuffs, you know, where the hell's the outrage? And everybody's just sitting here, and you could tell the Panthers are furious about this. I haven't seen the comments of Paul Maurice yet. I don't know if he's going to be the one voice on this, but apparently all of the Panthers in the locker room have been no commenting this hit. And it's infuriating because it felt very much like it felt very much like the Panthers had gotten the squeeze on this game. And it's like, this is what you gotta worry about because, yeah, look, you go up 2-0, the stats are the stats. I think you believe in the Cats' depth, but there's been no doubt about it. Aleksander Barkov has been the best damn player in the playoffs, two-way player. He's had everybody in hell that he's gone up against, and everybody's starting to notice that this should be this man's crowning achievement, getting his flowers, and the possibility that he might be out for any length of time. It just supremely pisses me off that this goes down for Barkey because it just it's infuriating. And, you know, Draisaitl is saying his hit, oh, just a hit. Don't think there's anything dirty about it. Yeah, I guess if I didn't realize you were doing a triple axel and you were able to launch yourself into him, throwing it like this the damn UFC. I mean, like that's just crazy to me. And it just feels like, look, I don't know what the atmosphere is going to be like in Edmonton. Quite frankly, if I was the Panthers, I'd be watching out for foreign objects the way they're allowing Edmonton to do whatever they want to the Panthers out there, and how much it just feels like it's on the tilt for Canada. But it feels very much like every other series that at the end of this game, you had Edmonton losing their cool. You know, you had them start to get into scuffles and try and get the Panthers in a spot where, like, the Panthers are going to do something stupid. And like, it feels very much like any time that happens, you know, the Panthers got you right where they want you. And you had, you know, Ekblad putting Evan Bouchard into the chokehold. He goes, that machine. And the great words of Khabib Nurmagomedov, I tell you, whole team, that machine. So it feels like a look, all anger aside, 2-0 in the series is golden. Everybody was talking about game one. The Panthers got away with one. and they wanted to give all the flowers to Edmonton, that Edmonton was going to be too fast and they were going to be too overwhelming. And what do we see today? Today we saw your traditional Florida Panthers game, and if they didn't gimmick it up with a 4-on-4 or, throw it with pulling the goalie with 5 minutes left, they really had nothing for the Panthers straight up. They don't have anything for the Panthers straight up. And the Panthers have been marvelous so far, stopping their power play. The Panthers finally break through on their power play, which has been, dry as a bone. And, I don't know how, Connor McDavid could sit here and everybody's toast of the town, and he can sit here and say, oh, everybody's going to be doubting us again. It's like, nah, actually, dude, here's the thing about that, though. Nobody doubted you after game 1. So when you put yourself down 0-2 and you've scored one goal, one gimmicky goal over 2 games, you were through 2 periods, the fewest shots in Stanley Cup history through 2 periods. You can say, oh, people don't believe in us and all that. That's fine. But there's a reason that the Oilers are getting as frustrated as they are. And Mark Messier can sit up there with his 5 Stanley Cups from the Oilers, and he can sit there and be all high and mighty, thinking, this thing isn't over yet. Okay, I tend to agree. Once a series is, if you haven't lost on your own ice, then it hasn't quite tilted all the way. But you're playing for your season coming up on Thursday, and the Florida Panthers seem like they got you in hell right now. I mean, that's just the facts about it. The Panthers right now seem like they got back to their identity today. They kept the chances very, very low, and then when Sergei Bobrovsky needed to show up in big-time spots, where was he again? You had your hockey savior on the breakaway, and there was Bob to stonewall him again. And then when he had opportunities in the other place, he's whiffing and it's going the other way. So he's been in a little bit of his own funk himself. Great. He's a dazzler on skates. He's a nice little show pony. He goes very fast and he can do his little dance. That's cool. That's nice. But substance comes down to it. He's getting outplayed by Evan Rodriguez in this series. So good for him on that one. I really am, I am just bummed to see this go down with Sergei Bobrovsky. And in fact, shout out to Dolphins backup quarterback Mike White, Broward boy, who is putting the wanted signs out there for Broward sheriffs for Draisaitl. Be like, hey, I don't know if we should let this guy get to the Canadian border. I think we might need to do something with this. He goes, you know what to do. This is where you find this man. It's infuriating. It's infuriating. On the positive side of it, what a nice night it was. And even with the Cats getting down in this one early and Edmonton, probably feeling like the fortunes were reversed from the first game, you have Nico Mikkola coming out there, nearly scoring on Bob himself, comes the other way, phew, phew, and Panthers Sunrise, which has basically become Little Finland, is coming through yet again, evens things up, and then the Panthers would just take this puppy over in the third period. Really wasn't close at all. Wasn't close at all. And their coach, who looks like hockey Brad Stevens, is coming out there. Him and his goalie are getting into spitting matches. It was all adorable and really just a delight to see. But this team, man, they have such an ability to dictate the game on their terms. It's why the last game was so surprising, and I think everybody was a little taken off because you're like, oh, this Oilers team has a lot of firepower, and maybe this is going to be something different than we're used to from the other series. And boom, what do we see today? Get right back to Florida Panthers hockey. It looks all too familiar, and by the end of the game, they're dictating the puppy, and they're getting right back to where they are usually at the end of these games, which are the more physical team, and 2 things are either going to happen. The other team is going to wilt and just slowly, quietly go away, or they're going to be losing, and then they're going to start picking fights with the Panthers because, they just want to feel like they're getting one up on them. They want to feel like they have some kind of mental edge. It honestly felt very Boston-y what we saw tonight with them, where it's like, oh, they're starting to mentally crack a little bit under the Panthers' pressure. But I thought the Panthers had a few things that went their way. First of all, for Bob to have the big saves on the breakaway was absolutely huge because he was having a pretty, he was having a pretty low key night with the action that he was facing. So for him to come up big in that way was huge, and then just for them to break through on the power play was just huge as well. Evan Rodriguez, what can you say about the dude? I mean, just an absolute stud. So just all the way in these playoffs, he was amazing today. Amazing. Cat atmosphere looked incredible. They had Zoe banging the drum. Ariana Grande was there today, dude. OG Panthers fan. Back on the Zamboni. Ariana Grande. They had Muscle Boy, shirtless Panthers fan. What's my dude's name? Was it what the hell is this kid's name? This kid was amazing. They had him, and then they had the other kid who had the incredible locks of hair that they threw him up. They made him do a hype up video, so he was absolutely fantastic. But what was Buddy's name? Was it Bryson? I think it was Bryson. I want to say it's Bryson Rosen is the name of the Panthers fan. Yeah, Bryson. Shout out to Bryson, dude. That guy's like right there behind the coaches, shaking them out of their shoes. Atmosphere looked incredible. Saw Uptown Dale. That was fantastic. The Rats were flying. The atmosphere was fantastic. I still want Draisaitl taken away in handcuffs. I'm not sure we should allow him to cross the northern border. I'm really, really upset about Barkey. You touch our sweet Sasha, and people gotta pay. That's complete horse bleep. I know if I know for a fact if the roles were reversed, and that was anybody on the Panthers doing that to Connor McDavid, I know for sure that dude is not only getting a major penalty, what doesn't even make sense. Like, they called a major penalty for on the Luosterainen knee early on, which I get it. Knee, lower body, you want to be safe there. But, like, dude, the guy's launching up like a goddamn ice kangaroo into Barkov's face. And you're telling me, like, I'm not supposed to want justice for that? Complete horse crap, man. Oh, it's a hockey play. Oh, really? I didn't realize we were figure skating out here. Draisaitl? Ridiculous. Just seeing on Twitter right now, Barkov, minus 170 is the favorite to win the Conn Smythe. So proud of my boy. He is doing awesome. He is doing awesome. What a beautiful, beautiful shot this guy is taking. He's even stopping guys on his own team who are trying to score on him. Can't do it. Amazing. Oh, let's see. Dudes at the podium right now. They got Mikkola and they got Rodriguez. I don't think Maurice has spoken yet. Curious to see if he says anything about the hit. Might have to wait until the old Showski tomorrow. Tune in. Call in tomorrow. All my Cat Fever fans out there, 305-567-0560. You guys can call in, and we can mock the Edmonton Oilers, who I didn't really think I could hate anybody more than Boston. But it turns out when there's more on the line, the hate grows, and I really despise their team. And I despise how everybody is rooting for them. Nothing against the country. You all seem like lovely people, and I hear nothing but nice things. But yeah, you touch Sasha Barkov. You mess with Sasha Barkov, you mess with all of South Florida. That's just how it goes, dude. I'm furious about this. I'm delighted because they're up 2-0, but it's like I can't even enjoy it because I want to know that Barkey's going to be okay. My sweet Sasha.